Okay, here we have a system of inequalities. We know they're inequalities because this says y is less than or equal to negative x minus 2. This one says y is greater than or equal to negative 5x plus 2. To start graphing, let's go ahead and write these as equations. And we notice these are both linear equations. So this is a system of linear inequalities. Now let's go ahead and graph this line. And we know when we graph this line, it's going to be a solid line because this inequality has an equal bar underneath it. So the points on the line are going to be part of the solution. So here we have a starting point of negative 2. The y-intercept is negative 2. So I'm going to put a point at negative 2 on the y-axis. Here the slope is negative 1. And when we have a slope of negative 1, well, that's the same as negative 1 over 1. So we're going to go down 1, right 1. Down 1, right 1. We can keep doing that several times. We can even reverse it. Go up 1, left 1. Take a moment to get my line on there now. So here's our graph for y equals negative x minus 2. But we want the graph for y is less than or equal to negative x minus 2. All right, so I'm going to shade either above or below this dividing line here. And we know we're going to shade below because of the direction of the inequality. Well, if y is less than or equal to this line, it would make sense that we shade below. So I'm going to shade everything very lightly below this line. Okay, so here's the graph of y is less than or equal to negative x minus 2. We first graphed the line, and then we shaded everything below. And we made a solid line because the points on the line are part of the solution. Now let's go to the second inequality. So we'll start by graphing the equation of that line, y equals negative 5x plus 2. So I'll have a y-intercept or beginning point of 2. And from there, we'll do a slope of negative 5. And when we have a slope of negative 5, well, that's the same as negative 5 over 1. So we're going to go down 5, right 1. So from the beginning point, I'll go down 5 and right 1. And I'll take a moment to draw a line between those 2 points. Okay, so that's the equation of this line for y equals negative 5x plus 2. But we want to graph this inequality. So we need to shade either above or below this line. Now above would be off to the right here, because that's, if you go straight up from the line, that's above. And below would be off to the left here. All right, so this says y is greater than or equal to negative 5x plus 2. So we want to shade above, because greater than is above. I'm going to shade everything very lightly above that line. Now the solution to this system of inequalities is where this shading overlaps. So notice that the shading overlaps in this small triangular region here. So it's important that we darken the solution region. All right, so I darken where the shading overlaps, and that region there is the solution to this system of inequalities. All those points in that region and on the lines adjacent to that region are solutions to this system. Now notice the inequalities are the same over here, other than the inequalities themselves. So on the first one, it'll be a dashed line instead of solid, and you'll be shading above. On the second one, it's also a dashed line instead of solid, and you shade below on that one. Hopefully this example has been helpful. This is Mr. Ela signing off.